So we've gone through everything at the stable so far. We've gone through breaking news. Well, we didn't have much breaking news except for White Tigers. Breaking news, I guess. But headlines for the stable, horses that were very, very impressive over the last 10 days to 2 weeks, horses that I wanted to talk about, and everything that was coming up from the Breeders' Crown to the Sire Stakes Finals to the bug being gone out of our barn, hopefully, to sales. The sales, obviously, I'm going to keep harping on this. A big thing coming up. We want to make sure we have all our ducks in a row and know where all our money sits at TheStable.ca. Who wants in, who doesn't want in, what kind of horses you're looking for, and what you are looking for. Also, in the sale, I may not have made that clear. Also, we always have our clients say, "Hey, look at hip number 10, whatever, or hip number 40, or hip number 30," and we do. And obviously, I want to make sure that everybody has a voice because I want to look at these horses also. If I like them, I'll tell you. I know clients have sent me messages saying about 6 or 7 horses so far. 2 of them I didn't notice at all until they brought it to my attention. And all of them were good-looking horses on paper that I am going to have a look at now for sure. So now we'll get into the stables. We'll start with Kevin McMaster's stable. Kevin had a huge start to August. A couple of them tailed off a little bit. A couple of them are a little tired, need to be turned out. And some of them are really coming on. So Art Seeker, when I drove him, he raced okay. Then he was second his next start and his last start. He was just kind of present. Wasn't his type of racing. Got away 5th in a 6-horse field. Came first over and finished 5th. One of our clients said his wife said it was one of the most boring races she's ever seen. So I would tend to agree it was pretty boring. So Art Seeker finished 5th. Book the Bet's been racing awesome. Finished second for Hall of Fame driver Doug Brown. Not yet. Doug Brown, the other night, Dougie drove this mare great. Ended up second in 53 and 4, pace 55. Continues to move forward. This mare, very happy with her. Buckingham trained great the other day and is going to be racing tonight at Mohawk in the Grassroots. Dancing at Midland's going to be racing tonight, but drew the 8-hole at Grand River on a half-mile track. Not very helpful on that half-mile track racing. So Dancing at Midland's going to have it tough tonight at Grand River, I think. Happy Holidays has had a terrible start to 2018. Certainly not what we put away. So that happens. We'll try and get her out of her funk over the next little while. I continue to say this, but really that's all we can do is either change her classification, which, again, this is a mare with a track record at Flamborough, a lifetime mark of 154 on a half-mile track, over $100,000 made. You know where I'm going with this. Maybe not a mare we want to get rid of just yet, especially when we have another mare we're breeding in our midst in Dewey Ann. May want to keep an eye on what we're doing with Big Happy also. So that's Happy Holidays. Hard 8 is racing tonight also. Second in 153 the other day at Georgian. This filly is getting better and better and loves her work and loves to work hard. I really like what I've seen from Hard 8. Really impressed the last 2 months. Kevin's done a great job with her, and she looks very good. Master Saver's on here, but he's going out to the field here in a little while. Mo Better. Wasn't really his fault. He had the 8-hole at Georgian, and they went in 52. So shockingly enough, he finished 6th or 7th. Paced in 54 last quarter in 28, I believe, or 29, and looked good doing it. Kevin said he didn't get over the surface of Georgian that good. He was looking to make a few little changes. Absolutely, by all means, go ahead. Mo Better has had a great year so far, though. Really nice colt. Pay the Line Blue Chip. I told Kevin, just go ahead and put her at Mohawk Thursday. I'll be there. I don't really like... she got a bit of a rough trip the other day. She got a bit of a rough trip a few times now. And I think I'd just as soon drive her on Thursday night. So Thursday she's entered for Mohawk. I have no idea if she get in yet or not, or what will take place, but hopefully she did, as I would like to drive this filly on Thursday. Promise Blue Chip. Her line did not look great, but her race was much better. And I'm not gonna, you guys know my feeling on Promise Blue Chip. She will be sold at some point in the coming weeks and months, I would imagine. I don't know where, I don't know for how much or when, but not the type of horse I want to really keep around. She just doesn't want to put out, doesn't want to work. And when you drive her, you know she's trying about 75% and doesn't really care about it. So unless her attitude turns around, and we could say, she's tired, turn her out. I'm not turning her out. She can go be turned out somewhere else, I think, is the best thing for Promise. She should be a good $12,000 to $15,000 horse. We'll see what happens over the next few starts. I think will really I think the tale's already been told, but over the next few starts, we'll figure out what we're going to do with her. Sally DeVee, a horse that I thought was heading in the same direction of promise, but has really turned things around and really impressed me. The night I drove her, I was 4th, pace 54 with her. She looked great. And then she was a bit locked in the other day, didn't get out till late in the stretch, finished 3rd. Thought she raced well again. Really impressed with her as well. Stonebridge Hall. Stonebridge Hall was 4th the other night in the 15. I thought he could have done more, but I thought he raced well, so hopefully he keeps moving forward. I'd like to be able to slide him into that class and have him fit there full time. That would be a good spot for him and a good spot for his clients. Time All Too Low continues to make money. Time All Too Low's never missed. He never missed a check. Has only been under the top. He was 4th the other day, I think, right? 4th or 5th. Has never missed a check, and that was his only start out of the top 3. Was at Mohawk the other day, and he was another horse where we put him in that spa and the mucus just poured out of him. He's going back in the spa tomorrow for another 3-day treatment starting tomorrow. So that's Kevin's barn. Kevin's barn's been doing good things. Master Saver took a new lifetime mark. He's going out to the field to rest for a little while. Book the Bet is racing tremendous. He's got Buckingham and Hard 8 on their toes. Mo Better's doing well. Sally DeVee is doing well. Stonebridge Hall. So good things coming out of Kevin McMaster's barn. Very happy with what I see there. We'll be back in just a minute. We'll go run through Jason's barn, Ricky's, and Harry's, and then close out the videos 2 weeks late, but nevertheless, we'll get them done. So we're back now with Jason's barn. Jason McGinnis had a fantastic summer in Ohio. One horse we never talk about, and he's not in any of these barns, is Redwood again. I'll drop him into Jason's barn. He's at Dan Ader's stable, likely coming back to Canada with us at some point, but for now, he's at Dan Ader's barn in Ohio. So, raced okay all summer, really just putting in billable hours. I guess at this point, we got to get him back and get him racing in Ontario, and if he doesn't race well, we can move him along, but myself and one other client bought up most of the shares of this horse just because the depression, if you will, of what he was as a 3-year-old really left a bad taste in their mouth, and I don't blame them. In regards to him personally, that horse, he just seemed like he couldn't put it all together and just decided he didn't want to, and that was frustrating and upsetting. And we had bought a lot of those clients out, and I retained the horse thinking that if you step back and look at it, there was still value in that horse. If you didn't say, well, that was one of our best looking 2-year-olds and trained down great and has been a complete calamity and disaster since we started racing him. If you just looked at the horse as what he's worth today, there was value in buying him. So we retained him. He'll be coming back, I would say, to Ontario at some point in the next few weeks. Starting Jason's actual barn, Friggin' Biggin started out the year great and then kind of fizzled out. We lost track of Friggin' Biggin there for a little bit, and he will finish off the year in a couple of starts, and we'll either turn him out or sell him. So there's a couple of sales coming up. The Ohio sale, I didn't want to put the horses in the supplemental. You know, they sell at the end of the sale when everybody's already gone home or drunk, or I didn't want to put them in the end of the sale, so I emailed the girl back and said, no, don't bother. They have the sale in London, the mixed sale in London, and they do have Harrisburg, and we do have On Gate, and we do have the Standard Canada site. So if we have to, we'll sell some of these horses along the way in the next few weeks. Friggin' Biggin's a horse that's kind of teetering on that area. I thought a lot of him, and I think a lot of him, but I think a lot more of him if you do a little more work. His first start, I thought he was great. I thought he was maturing and progressing and looking good, and it's been downhill since then. And just expect a little bit more out of that guy. I like him. Still like him as a horse, but I don't think his attitude's bad. I just would like to see more. Next is a horse we just bought, Gelona. Gelona is racing tomorrow night at Scioto Downs. We bought her off one of our clients. I thought the price was very fair. Steve had sold us the horse. I kept a chunk of her that I will be selling if people want them, and we had other shares that we had sold. Jason trained the horse on Saturday, Friday at the farm in Ohio, and said she trained awesome. He said he really, really likes her. So very, very happy with what I see in Gelona so far. I've never personally seen the mare. I'm going to go see her tomorrow when I race her. But by all accounts, very nice mare. Very happy to have her. Very affordable for those of you out there looking for a racehorse. We brought 2 horses. One I'm going to talk about in a minute that's returning to TheStable.ca. And the other one is Gelona here for the first time. And Gelona's got about 80,000 made. She's a pretty solid 56 trotter. We bought her off Ron Burke at the same time. Bought her off a client that had her with Ron Burke at the same time. We got Lincoln James. So Gelona is ours. Watch a race in Scioto tomorrow. We do have shares of Gelona that will be going up for sale after she races. Candy Mac. Candy Mac's started another horse, started out good, kind of fizzled out a bit. Not really his fault in his last start. I guess, like for instance, Friggin' Biggins' race went in 2-7 on that fair track. Candy Mac's went in 2-1-2 track record. He trotted in 2-2 and a piece. So can't really fault Candy Mac for his performance that day. Looked good doing it. I'd like to see him finish the year strong, put a little bit more money away, and so we have a nice 3-year-old trotter when we bring him back. Oh So Pine, one of the nicest colts in Ohio. I really, really love this colt. I think he's got a very, very bright future. He's got the Ohio Sires Final coming up in a few weeks that he will be in. Now, I haven't told anybody this. You're the first to know. I won't be able to be there. We have the Bill Wellwood and another big stake race. The eliminations are that night in Toronto. So I can't be there for Oh So Pine's final race. Frustrating, but nevertheless, it is what it is. He's a nice horse, and I think anybody that will get along very, very well with him on that night. So Oh So Pine, one of the nicest colts in Ohio, looking to prove it on Ohio Sires final night. Meadowbrook Charlie. What? Meadowbrook Charlie found his way back to the stable. He went to Indiana. Didn't have a lot of success in Indiana. We had the opportunity to buy him back, and I took that opportunity. So he's going to be coming to Jason's barn first. We're going to make the shoeing changes on him that we had on him when he was in Toronto, and race him a couple of times in Ohio, and then he'll also be coming home. Ready for the beach. Another horse showed a little life. His line wasn't that great the other day. I didn't see the race, and I called Jason. I'm like, we're just going to send this guy home, I guess. And he says, no. He said Chris Page drove him and asked after just to put him back in. He said he got jammed up with him and didn't really get a chance to race him, and he actually liked him. So the blacksmith and Jason had made some shoeing changes down there, made some equipment changes, and by all accounts, it appears that they've worked. So Ready for the Beach will be racing, I think, this Thursday, along with the next horse, Real Willie. Since that big mile in 53, he got scorched his next start in the Sire Stakes. Then he made a break his next start. Jason, we're gonna have to do a little work on him, I think, on Tuesday, and he'll be ready to go Thursday. We made some shoeing adjustments, a little equipment changes, things that I think will probably help a lot. And Real Willie will be back in to go Thursday. See You in Tuscany is qualifying tomorrow afternoon, I guess, at Scioto. I'm going to go a decent mile with him. He's got enough points. I haven't told anybody this yet, but we may not take him to Northfield. This horse is not suited for a half. I know you're going to say, well, you won and a half. Yeah, I won and a half. I got to the half. I controlled the race. I bullied a lot of people and a lot of horses to do so, and he did exactly what a good horse does. He won. But we're not going to get that opportunity to bully anybody in Northfield next time. And I don't know if I want to race him on a half-mile track again. So we may just look to coast into the final on our 2 wins and the break he made the other day. With those 2 wins should get him into the final of the Ohio Sire Stakes. So I'll double check. I don't want to screw up the math and miss, but I'd personally not like to race this horse on a half. I think we'll skip that half and race him somewhere else. We may even race him in Kentucky on that big, beautiful track they got down there and get a good mile into him. But this will all be contingent on how he qualifies tomorrow in Scioto. Twinsburg was third, paced 54 in Kentucky the other day, off a scattered schedule going in. So we'll race her back next week. Hopefully, in a perfect world, Twinsburg will also coast into the finals and make the Ohio Sires final and the Kentucky final. It's going to be a little tightrope walking after that abysmal start in the last Ohio Sire Stakes, but we'll see what we can get done here with Twinsburg. Next, West 52nd. He's going to do a little dancing around. I think West 52nd is going to take in some racing in Ontario before he races in the Consolation. I don't even know if a win in his next start will get him into the Ohio Sires final. If it does, awesome. If it doesn't, it doesn't. He still has to win first, so we'll see what happens next week in Scioto. But by all accounts, Lots of racing left for West 52nd. I still think a lot of this colt. I think he's got a bright, bright future ahead of him, and hopefully it all starts next week in Scioto. Last, certainly not least, is Yes. Yes has been tremendous all year. Jason has had a powerful burn in Ohio all year, and Yes has been one of the happier surprises of that burn, racing or making money all year, taking a good lifetime mark, and just putting some money away and just being a really, really nice horse. So very happy with what I've seen from Yes, very happy with what I've seen from Jason and Jason's barn in Ohio. They've done a great job, and it's hopefully going to be polished off with a great final to the Ohio Sire Stakes coming up here in a few weeks. So that is Jason's barn. We'll be right back with Ricky and Harry's barn in just a moment. So we got Harry's barn. Harry Polton's barn has been quietly good all year. He's the trainer of Sunshine's Finest. He'll be the trainer of Lincoln James. He has Maintenance Man also. Linnea, Screaming Hawk, Warwi Ultra. Great little barn. Sporadically doing very, very good. I'd like to see them all click at the same time for a few weeks. Wow, he'd have a powerful stable then. Better Call Mike, he's been training. He tells me Better Call Mike looks great. I haven't seen Better Call Mike. I saw him in the barn. He filled out, looks good. But Harry said he's training fantastic. So really excited to see what this colt's going to do this fall. Boldness, another horse back training. Harry said he is also quite improved, filled out well, grew up a little bit. I'm not really sure what he's done with training just yet, but I'll know when I get back. I'll go with him on, again, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. I'll sit behind him and see how he feels. But by all accounts, Harry's been very, very happy with him. Captain Miraculous made that one start, a little flat in the end of it, and then we found that curb was bothering him again, left hind. So we went ahead and crowd that curb, recrowd the curb. He'll be ready to go next week. Probably school him on Friday also. Just a tad made a break on James the other day. Might need a little bit of vet work done on this colt. He made a little break starting into the backstretch. He struggled a little bit with the transition into hobbles. I'm really just looking to get him qualified, race him a few times, and turn him out maybe, and we'll see what we can do with Just a Tad. But Just a Tad, I know, I trained him in 59 at Mohawk, so I know he can trot. I will qualify the horse on Friday. I don't foresee any problems in that. Majesty Boy is back also. Another horse got a little bit of sick and was a little bit thin when he came back from Ohio. Probably school him a little bit on Friday. He trained slow the other day. I'm going to try him without the hobbles on. If he's tired and burned out a little bit and on the right line like he was, he might just go to the field for the rest of the fall. But this horse has shown talent a little bit and shown that he's not a bad colt, so he might be headed for the field. I don't know yet. Maintenance Man certainly isn't headed for any field. He looked tremendous his last two starts. I won in 153 and one with him. Brett followed it up with a 53-4 winner in Georgian Downs last week in the Sire Stakes and the Grassroots. And he'll be heading to the Nassagawa Stakes on Saturday night. Tough field, I'm sure. Going to be an uphill battle. But you know what? That's why we raced him, as I said before. And this colt's obviously fast enough. We're going to see what he can do on Saturday night. And I think he belongs there and deserves there. I would race him in the Grassroots, but it's going in Hanover, and he's not going to a half-mile track. So Maintenance Man will be racing in the Nassagawa Stakes on Saturday night. Blast from somewhat the past. Lima's son is back going. Lima's son is back jogging now. He won't be ready probably till almost the winter time, but leg looks great on Lima's son, starting to come around. His leg cooled down and shrunk up real good. We were all ready to take that splint bone out of him, and the surgeon said, no, it healed great, leave it alone. Perfect. So Lima's son, some good news with him. He's back a little bit earlier than I thought he'd be, so we will see what happens with him. Harry's next horse, a new horse to the stable, Lincoln James. Got beat up a little bit in PEI in the final. That long, people don't realize how hard that is on the horses. The post parade's 40 minutes long. 40 minutes. This horse wanted to get at it when he got on the track. By the time they got to the gate, Kenny told me he's a little washed out. He had to check him in the first turn. Thinks maybe he shut his air off when he did when Jody's horse made a break. So Lincoln James is on his way tomorrow or this afternoon back to PEI or back to Ontario. He'll be back there Wednesday, I guess. Wednesday sometime. Be another 10 days before we start him. I'd like to school him. Excuse me. I would like to school him at least once before we race him. So Lincoln James on his way back to Ontario. Linnea races tonight. Linnea schooled great the other day. Louis Philippe Watt told me he really liked her and thought she was a nice filly. He's driving her tonight in the Grassroots in Mohawk. So very interested to see what she'll do. Screaming Hawk, thanks to all our clients for the emails and messages after he raced in Sarnia to say, geez, he just wasn't comfortable, wasn't himself, off a little bit right front and left hind. In fact, he was. His left stifle had a little filling in it. We had that injected. His right front now, that was a pus pocket. So we made some footwear adjustments, and we've been working on that foot. He looks great right now. I'll probably school him on Friday and see how he feels after that. Sunshine's Finest. I just got a dirty call from James saying you set a world record with White Tiger and you fired me. I guess the race office screwed up and put me on Sunshine's Finest on Thursday. I called and changed it. James will be driving the horse indeed. But looked great the other day, schooling. Apparently James was really, really enthusiastic about this colt. Really going to see what he can do in the upcoming weeks. Just a little maiden tightener for him on Thursday, and then it'll be a prep race for the Champlain, I think. Whatever race is Simcoe Champlain, one or the other, on later in the month in September. And then last and not least, War Wee Ultra. Hasn't had a great start. Was third in her first one, looked great. Then she was sick and made a break on James. Still a little bit sick on me the other day. That dirty 21-day bug that we had put her in that spa the last week, and they said it just poured out of her also. So probably race her in an overnight, and then she'll be going to Hanover, or maybe just to Hanover for grassroots action. And then if she races well, she can bounce back after that. But that's it. That's all of it. That's all the stables. Finally got a full video out to you guys. Sorry about the delay, but between China and Curtis being in China, not being able to edit, the uploading taking its time, me being on the road, we missed a week. And I apologize for that, but that's the way it goes. We can't do much about it. I'm always easy to reach. If you have any questions, you can email me at anthony@TheStable.ca. Call me, 519-400-4263. You can get a hold of me on Twitter or Facebook. Please feel free to give me a call. Now, I'm going to end this with making another statement about the sales. I want to make sure that we have a good idea of what we have going into the sales, what people's comfort levels are, what they're looking for. If you're interested in buying horses with TheStable.ca this fall, speak up now, because we're going to be putting lists together both for all the sales. We have Ohio coming up. People might say, oh, Ohio's no good. Ohio's where I bought Bay Jewel. She may not be a world champion just yet, but I love this filly. We bought her. We bought Candy Mac, Majesty Boy. A lot of decent horses out of that sale, and we will be there looking at them this year also. Going to Ohio, going to Goshen, going to all the sales that are going to be there. The only sale we're going to miss when I'm gone away in New Zealand, I think, is maybe the Buckeye, if I'm not mistaken. That's where we got See You in Tuscany last year. The good news is I wasn't there when we bought him there either. So Danny O'Brien's probably going to be scouting for us quite a bit this fall. He's going to be on the road. He wants to go to some of those sales too. So we're going to be having a real good look at all the sales, buying horses from all the sales. We already have 9 or 10 yearlings bought, and I'm not telling you who they are. You guys are going to find out maybe a week before the sales. We're going to cut some information loose on the horses we bought. Some very nice horses that I personally ran my hands over, and we purchased them privately. So that's it for this week. We had a world record this week. Never did that before. We had a track record, same night. Seasons mark. We have some horses that are really, really racing great. And I can't wait. We got maybe Swander the Giant and White Tiger locking horns in the Wellwood possibly coming up. So we got a big, big fall ahead of us. Whether it be the sales, whether it be the racing, whether it be the Breeders' Crown. Keep an eye on what we're doing. We're making some changes also. We are going to be putting some more infrastructure in place in the app to make sure that we can really facilitate people at the sales in real time. We're going to be doing some cool stuff with Facebook Live and again with the app. Curtis has a little more free time now. He's coming to Lexington. Hopefully I'm going to talk him into coming to Harrisburg, coming to Ohio, and doing some real cool stuff with some videos with us and TheStable.ca. So don't blink. Going to be a quick fall. We have a lot of things on the go, a lot of things to do, and as usual, we're going to make sure that we keep you as informed as we can. So for me, for the pictures behind me at the Poconos for the Poconos Casino Resort. That's where I'm at right now. I'm all recharged, as you can see. I looked like a meth head last night when I did my Facebook Live. One of our clients sent me a still shot of my face and said, please get some sleep. So I appreciate the warm wishes. I feel fine now. Got some racing to do tonight, got some qualifying tomorrow in Scioto, and then we're back to, and then we got Lawmaker on Wednesday, and then we are back to Ontario. So, thank you very much, everybody. Happy to get all these videos done. Hopefully we'll get them uploaded and out to you tomorrow morning, which today is Monday. Hopefully you get this tomorrow morning. Take care.